Welcome to the MindShift Movement Podcast, hosted by Alan Johnson. On this podcast, Alan will be sharing with you empowering, effective, and actionable knowledge within the fitness and mindset space to help you, the listener, become the very best version of you physically, mentally, and emotionally. Now, get ready to dive into today's episode.
Hey everyone, welcome to today's episode with me, your host, Alan Johnson. And at the time of recording this episode, yesterday was the day that I launched the podcast, and it's been phenomenal. We've actually reached the top 100 within the health and fitness category, and that is literally down to you guys, the listeners, those that are rating the show, subscribing, and also leaving a review. So massive thank you for helping me get into the top 100, which is literally mind-blowing for me. So yeah, thanks again, and I hope you're all enjoying the content so far. So today I wanted to speak to you guys just about sleep, really, and hashtag Team No Sleep. And that's exactly how my mindset used to be. It used to be literally like the less sleep I have, the more awake hours I have to be able to work and get more done. But last year, it was basically like the opposite, because what I was doing was I was doing the no sleep, and literally I just feel drained. I would feel lethargic. I'd feel just sleepy, run down, and I was getting migraines as well. And I put it down to just, I was in the mindset of just hustle. I was probably sleeping like 5 hours a night. Yes, I did have a newborn baby, which obviously didn't help, but I kind of wasn't allowing myself enough kind of downtime and relaxation to be able to, heal and repair and actually feel good. So, how much sleep are you usually getting on a daily, weekly basis? And, how does it make you feel when you don't get a good night's sleep? So some of you listeners might be similar to myself, running a business, having a small toddler, keeping you up maybe some nights as well, and just running a busy lifestyle, trying to get everything done. And for myself personally, when you are lacking sleep and you have had broken sleep, and your focus and your concentration just diminishes a bit, especially when you go, like, sometimes you can go one night and it's cool, like you just kind of get on with it. But once it goes into like the 2 or 3 days lacking sleep and you've got that sleep deprivation, then it can really start affecting not just your work life, but also your family life as well, because you're going to have a shorter fuse, you're going to be getting frustrated, you're going to be feeling overwhelmed, and obviously we don't want those kind of feelings. So there's different stages of sleep as well. So before you go to sleep, so your waking hours, you're usually in a state called beta. And then once you fall into sleep, you've got different stages. So you've got alpha, theta, delta, and then you've got your rapid eye movement sleep, which is called REM. Okay, so this is where most of your dreaming takes place. It's a really important part for your sleep cycle in terms of memory and learning. Okay, so it's really important to get that part of your sleep in, and that's the period as well. If you get woken up during REM sleep, that's when you can have a little bit of sleep inertia. Okay, and obviously if you've had that before, it's a bit of a weird feeling. It can last from like 30 minutes to a few hours, where you're kind of in that sleepy state and you just can't kind of snap out of it. So each cycle is around 100 to 120 minutes. The first cycle is normally 90 minutes. And what I was finding with my sleep last year as well was, because I was feeling exhausted a lot of the time, I put it down to that I was kind of breaking my sleep cycles as well. So it's something that you kind of have to play around with, because if you're waking up maybe a little bit into a sleep cycle or halfway through, and you're feeling, you're getting the sleep inertia, you're feeling tired a lot of the time, you're feeling a bit run down, it could be because you're quite simply just breaking the cycle. So maybe trying to go to bed a little bit earlier, maybe even waking up a little bit earlier if you feel that you're getting enough sleep, and just see how you feel when you wake up at different times. So trying to just figure out the optimal sleep time for yourself is a really, really great task to do. And having an evening routine has been like a massive game changer for me. Before, what I used to kind of do was just use my phone right up until like doing work, replying to messages, doing social media posts, just basically putting everyone else first apart from me. So literally what I do now, which really helps with my sleep, is I don't have my phone for at least 30 minutes before I go to sleep. Okay, so I'm not staring at the phone screen, being busy. I'm actually making sure that I get a bit of time for me in the evening. And I'm sure a lot of you, maybe you're still doing that at the moment, being on your phone all evening and then just going straight to bed, not really taking a bit of time for you, relaxing, having a bit of downtime. And I think that's really, really important to get a good night's sleep in. So something else I do before bed is just plan the next day. And that's so effective for me, because there's been times where I haven't planned my day and then I'm lying in bed trying to get to sleep and I've got all of these thoughts going through my head, what I need to do the next day. So the best thing for me to do, and probably work for you guys, is just to write down everything that you need to do the next day, and then you know that you've jotted it down, you know it's going to get done, and then you can rest. Okay. So also like write a to-do list as well. This really, really helps. So you know what you've got to do the next day. I tend to be in bed by like 9ish now, rather than staying up till 10:30, 11. Catching up with the missus, have a little read, Netflix, documentaries usually. And also I've started watching something called Gaia on Gaia.com. So I listen to a lot of Joe Dispenza. He's an awesome guy. If you've not heard of him, Google him. He's got loads of free stuff on YouTube. So documentaries really interest me about like neuroscience, quantum physics. So I'll probably sound like a bit of a geek now. Each to their own. And then I'm usually asleep by 10 latest. So I'm tend to get a good 7 hours sleep now. So like I say, sleep by 10, up at around 5 a.m. in the morning. And I tend to feel really refreshed. That's if the little man isn't up in the night. Okay, so if the sleep's not broken, then 7 hours is usually like the ideal time for me personally. Some people might survive on 6, some people might need 8 or 9 hours. So that's why you kind of have to find the best flow for you. Okay, so stress plus rest equals growth. Okay, so that's really, really important to remember. If you're putting yourself through positive stress on a daily basis, you're striving for growth with your exercise, in the gym, with your business, your work life, your education, personal development, whatever growth and stress that you're putting yourself through, it's really important to get the rest time, so then you will be able to grow, learn and develop. Okay, so just to summarize real quick, making sure that you're getting enough sleep yourself. There's no point living each day being miserable, that no one wants to be around. So maybe thinking about how much sleep you're getting at the moment. Are you getting enough? What kind of habits can you put in place to get a better night's sleep? Maybe improving your evening routine, like I've mentioned, creating a few healthy habits for yourself. My evening routine will be very, very different to what yours looks like. And that's it. That is it from me, guys, on this episode. Thanks again for tuning in, and I'll catch you on the next show.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the MindShift Movement Podcast. If you'd like to support the show, please subscribe on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, SoundCloud, or Google Play. Share this episode with someone you feel would benefit from the content. And please leave a 5-star review wherever you download your podcasts. You can also contact Alan at ajfitmindcoaching@gmail.com or on Facebook at AJ Fitness and Mindset Coaching and on Instagram at Alan_Johnson_coaching. We'll catch you on the next episode.